Okay, our next presenter is Jimmy Jones. Renaissance means rebirth, and Cincinnati native and artist Jimmy Jones is having just that. Jones retired from a long and successful career working for Procter & Gamble as a director of display design, only to re-emerge as an independent artist and painter. The exhibit of Jones's work, The World, Faces and Stories, draws heavily on Western tradition of representation, and while his paintings are realistic, most have a layered look that show off Jones's design talent. Without further ado, Jimmy Jones.
Good evening, everyone. I finally made it. Thank you. I'm ready. This is what I do every morning. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I scream. At first, I look at Fox News. Once I look at Fox News, I scream again. This piece right here is pretty serious piece, but it's a piece dealing with how America loves its guns. They have it's just a passion for those guns and everything. And I put two guns there because it was representing black on black crime, using a lot of those weapons and everything. This piece right here is called "Who's the Real Cowboy?" And this piece has some of the old cowboy images in there. I don't know if you can see them from your seats and everything. But with all the shooting that's going on and everything, I'm wondering if we're not back in the old West again. Now this piece right here is a little serious. It's dealing with a person that's not a cowboy in a sense, but he's a person that's trying to protect his community. I think it's Zimmerman is the guy's name who killed the kid with the Skittles and everything. And that's what I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show a guy on a knight on shining armor just trying to save his community. This next piece, these slides are moving fast. This next piece is about Aurora. And that image is an image of a murderer, a person that's killed mass people. And it was in Aurora. I think it was Colorado. Am I right? God. Oh. I scream again. Well, I had an argument with a friend of mine because they says, wow, finally somebody got Donald Trump right. They put him as a prophet. They put him with Christ, and they put him with John the Baptist. And I says, no, he's firing Christ. So that piece was called You're Fired. I had to let you know that. Okay, sorry, guys, I digress. Well, this piece right here is another screen. It's two kids from the Middle East, and I'm hoping that one day that they won't have to send American troops in there, and those two kids who are about 12 years old can get along with each other. Okay, now I'll catch up. This piece right here is called The Mad Tea Party. And what I'm doing, I'm showing the Koch brothers trying to convince Alice in Wonderland to let them be in charge of the Tea Party. Now, for all you people that get overly serious and think about wars and all this kind of thing, we've been through those things before. And this is Frederick Douglass, and he is in front of the 51st Regiment, which is a Civil War regiment. This right here is called Red Carpet, and it's really S.S. Turner. And it's a story about how the slaves, when they got too sick, the captains of the ship would just throw them overboard because they would make more money that way. Now, this piece right here is called Martyrs, and I think my pieces are getting really serious. But this piece is called Martyrs, and these are some of the people that have died and given their life so that I, Jimmy Jones, can be standing in front of you tonight. And Martin Luther King, John Kennedy, Christ, and now I'm changing. I got a little bit too serious, so I said to myself, cut down on the seriousness and just start thinking of people, just human beings. So I did this portrait of a little person. Niger is her name, and she's 16 years old. And she came in and talked to me about hip hop and all kinds of things like that. So she brought me up to date. Let me catch up again. Sorry about that, guys. This piece right here is Catherine, and she's one of my models. And little Catherine, she said to me, she says, "Jimmy, I'm gonna stop smoking and drinking. I'm gonna get better." And I says, "Go ahead, Catherine." This next piece, maybe I didn't say that quite right. Cut. This piece right here is a young lady. Ooh, went too fast for me. Anyway, I'll tell you anyway. That was a young lady who was a model of mine, and she was crying, crying profusely because she couldn't get a job. And then I says, "Well, since I'm paying you, just sit still for a couple of minutes. That's all I'm asking. And then you can cry all you want." So she cried, and then all of a sudden I put the camera up in front of her. She goes. And so, anyway, I'm sorry, slides. Then the next few slides are about jazz and everything. So I lightened up a little bit, and this right here is John Coltrane, and I was just trying to show the genius of African American music. This is Billie Holiday, and then this next piece that's going to come up. Have I caught up? Yeah, I caught up. It's Billie Holiday. I'm sorry. What I was trying to do is show the genius of jazz and everything by having Billie Holiday. And I actually went up to New York City and I did a show with John Coltrane and his family. They invited me up, so I did some pieces of that. Okay, this piece right here is about fighting. That's Arturo Gatti. He's one of my favorite fighters. He fought one of the most brutal fights I've ever seen. And little Arturo ended up getting murdered by his wife. So that means you can be the big, brutal guy all you want, but a lady can bring you down. This piece right here, I wanted to start uplifting my pieces a little bit. So this piece is dealing with, it's called Two Smokes, and it's about the Catholic Church when about a few years ago when we had two popes. And we wasn't sure which pope was going to lead, and that's what that piece is about. And then I end with this piece right here, and it's Jimi Hendrix, and I stole his name because I saw him when I was a teenager, and he had all those girls around him. So I says, "I'm changing my name to his name so I can get the girls." And I did. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't keep up with the slides.